Let's bring in the CEO of the Israeli-American Council, Ilan Carr, and former Navy SEAL who trained with IDF, Cameron Hamilton. Cameron, to you first. I want to play this soundbite. This is from the IDF spokesperson, Israeli Defense Force spokesperson, about restarting this. Watch.
As soon as we will get the green light from the government of the State of Israel to continue operations, we will do so, because we understand that there is a direct link between ground operations and pressure on Hamas and their willingness to hand over the hostages. And we are ready and equipped to do so.
He talks about the green light there, Cameron. What do you think? Does the green light come in just hours, or is this pause in some capacity extended?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Trace. I think right now it's a very challenging scenario where they're trying to bring as many hostages back. Israel's taking great efforts and stride to do so. So I think that they're really trying to adhere to the sympathies of the families. That really it's riveting, it's captivating. We see these young children, we see these women that have been put into slavery and they've been captured. So they're going to expend every effort to bring them back. Likely Israel will capitulate in some manner to extend time. The real disadvantage that we run into with a scenario like this is that you only embolden and further legitimize actors like this.
Yep, and we should also note that most of the hostages that are still being held are mostly men, young men. The Wall Street Journal, Ilan, writes the following, quoting here: the U.S. push to have Israel fight a more targeted war signals a shift away from President Biden's full-throated support at the outset for the campaign to oust Hamas. I mean, it is clear this administration is pivoting, and the longer this ceasefire goes, the more they kind of back off of it.
Yeah, and it's very, very troubling. First of all, for these hostage families, Trace, every day is October 7th.
Right.
It's still October 7th. And so Hamas is torturing these people every day. And yes, the fact of the matter is, you know, Israel is a humane country. They'll do everything in their power to win those men, women, and children back. But at the end of the day, Israel has a job to do, and that is eliminate the genocidal threats on its borders. That's Hamas, and that's other threats, too. It could easily go to Hezbollah, which is in a daily shooting war in the north of Israel. And so this is absolutely critical, and the United States cannot soften on this. If we do, we are undermining not only our ally Israel, but we are giving a gift to terrorist organizations around the world and helping Iran, and we cannot do that.
Yeah, the New York Post writes the following: a 10-month-old Israeli boy, Nate Foy was talking about this, the youngest hostage captured by Hamas, and his family have been handed off to another Palestinian terror group. And their relatives are calling the move just more psychological torture and fear that the children are being held as a trophy. A lot of this, Cameron, is psychological warfare. Agreed?
I absolutely would agree. I think that we're going to see more of it continue, especially now that we find that the business of terrorism is profitable. Again, they benefit from carnage and destruction, and they do so smiling, and they're willing to do it time and time again. Unfortunately, Israel is going to expend every effort to bring hostages back, but that will only further embolden certain activities by groups like these. So it's an incredibly challenging scenario. Israel does need to, at some point, pull the gloves off and finish the conflict that they have and utterly root out this cancer to the Palestinian people. It's the only way there will be a lasting peace. Number two, on the foreign policy front with the United States, we need to stand in solidarity with Israel, and we need to make it unequivocal the fact that we want all American hostages returned, no exceptions, no favors to be asked, no benefit for Hamas until that is done.
Yeah, I've got about 30 seconds left for you, Ilan, because I want to know, kind of off the point, about the U.S. getting attacked by the Houthi rebels and all these other groups, these Iranian proxies. Why is this administration backing off calling the Houthi rebels a terrorist organization?
Well, certainly the Houthi rebels are a terrorist organization. The Biden administration is now reevaluating that and is looking at redesignating them. But I think it's got to be
backed off it today, though. Like, well, it's a group. It's not it's a terrorist group. No, it's a group. Okay, go ahead.
Well, that's right, and it's a mistake. And look, I think the bottom line is it's not just the Houthis. It's the Houthis. It's Hamas. It's Hezbollah.
Right.
This must lead to a fundamental reevaluation of our Iran policy, because at the end of the day, the Houthis and Hezbollah and even Hamas, they don't make decisions without Iran's blessing. That's the head of the snake, and we have to deal with the head of the snake.
Ilan Carr, Cameron Hamilton, gentlemen, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.